Facebook will load. Man, it's been an eventful few days since I've been hitting these hard topics. Everything's kind of just kicking off everywhere with it. Everything's kicking off everywhere with it. But hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down, do a current events Q&A for you guys and gals. I guess I'm going to sip on my milk. Apparently, me drinking milk is racist now. You just can't make this stuff up. All this time I've been saying dairy is a superfood for athletes. I've been saying it for like 12 years. And now all of a sudden it's racist. But then again, apparently lifting weights is racist. You know, I saw a bunch of news stories on that if you work out, you're racist. That it's lifting weights is linked to racism. Like everything good in the world is linked to racism. Or you keep using in this term, they said it's white supremacy. I guess they're saying racism is a good thing. Because it seems like every single positive thing that you can think of, lifting weights, dairy, air conditioning, math, like the list goes on and on. Like all the good, wholesome stuff in the world is apparently racist. I keep hearing this from these crazy leftists. So you're basically saying racism is good. Like, is this your definition of the term racism? Anything that's good is racist. I mean, that's what it sounds like. Or they use the stupid word is white supremacy. It's like, if you even use the word white supremacy, then you think white people are superior. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't use such a crazy term. Like, these people are stupid. You can't deal with this level of crazy mind virus. Like language has meaning, like words have meaning. If you say stuff like, that's white supremacy, I'm like, so you believe that white supremacy exists? Yeah, that's it right there. So you're saying we're superior? That's what your phrase means. So why are you using the term if that's not what you believe? Drop into hit like is making lips mad. It's like, I don't use that term. I don't use that term. And I would argue anyone who uses that term and says it's real believes white people are superior. Else, why would you say the term? Again, words have meaning. Language has meaning. Words are a powerful thing. And there's an underlying message of what you communicate with those words. So again, these people are insane. Just like this insane, crazy domestic terrorist we just saw. And yes, all the footage, all the data, all the evidence is showing she was a domestic terrorist. She wasn't just passing through. They were literally there on the body cam. Her and her ugly ass bulldoggle wife were harassing and taunting the ICE agents outside the vehicle. I'm going to keep drinking that teddy juice, right? Drink that teddy juice. It gives you bigger teddies, right? Got to have them chesticles. You saw that dip PR today, right, David? Did you see the dip PR? After benching, I got 20 reps, baby. 20 reps. You know. Yeah, someone just asked me though in a message, wouldn't pinning your delts be good for your goals? I don't want to pin my delts. That's the thing, guys. And so everyone who's like, Jason, you need bigger, more capped delts, I would have to inject. You can't do that through lifting weights. You can't do it through lifting weights. Like the goals, the delt proportions that people want you to have due to bodybuilding is from injecting your delts. It's not from doing lateral raises on a bit of testosterone. Sorry, guys. And I don't want to stick a needle in my delts. I mean, is everybody cool with that? Is everyone cool with me saying, hey, I would really rather not inject my delts? Just me personally, I don't really want to do it. And I don't think I need to promote the aesthetic of oil delts. Even my TRT, man, I don't want to rotate it to my delts. I'd rather stick with the glutes. We don't need to do all this. Like, literally people getting upset with me because they don't want me to pin my delts. I've got some out there. And I said that to in a comment the other day. It's like, you really need to cap your delts out. I'm like, Well, I'd have to up my dose, and I'd have to put all of it in my shoulders, all of it. And in a year, I would have capped delts. But why do we need to promote that? Like, just because the whole influencer and bodybuilding world has gone that direction, why does it mean that we need to do it? All right. Good question. Anybody got an answer to that? But yeah, guys dropping in because they're like, yep, it makes Libs mad that you're. I mean, the whole drinking milk thing, I just can't. The stupidity. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to be called a racist anyway, so I might as well. There's going to come a point where I'm just going to go, sure, yeah, okay, great. It seems like that's the best approach with these people because then what do they have? Like, I'm not racist, but if they're just going to accuse me of it, if I just say, sure, you're right, I'm racist, then what do they have? What do they have then? Nothing. Like, great. So now can we go over to the actual topics? Stephen Gallagher, I agree with you. Jason Momoa is inserting herself, taunting police. I have bizarre debates with women from these blue states saying this was her civic duty to prevent ICE agents from. No, that's not how it works. I'm going to be the type at this point. I'm not going to do this even. I'm not going to take the road that JD Vance said of it's tragic and it was just her infected with the mind virus. I'm just going to call it a positive thing. Like, seriously, the more of these crazy, insane, woke domestic terrorist types who basically find ways to get themselves removed, we should just celebrate it at this point. You know what? Great. It's called Darwinism. If you're that crazy, is the world a better place for you having done this stupidity and you're gone? No. We could make a case for it. Yeah, I went there. But back over to that point. Thoughts of reducing the labor-based taxation, increasing taxation of investment, passive derived income as a balanced way to adjust revenue support versus. Now, here's my problem. We don't need to be taxing citizens at all. But here's the other problem. This doesn't work either. So all of us who built up money to put into investments, and we are taxed on our investments. So first, let's say you change the law. Let's say those of us who work really, 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 really hard and get the shit taxed out of us so that we have the extra money to put into investments. And then we put it in investments. And then you decide, hey, we're going to tax that heavier now and reduce the other. So you're just going to punish all of us twice. Or do you mean an age cap on it? Like everyone who's age 20 or younger now, in the future, we're going to tax you this way? Or are you talking about the people who have already had to make their money and invest and have enough for retirement, and then you're going to tax them on their investments when they already got tax heavy previously? What about those of us who were self-employed? We get taxed way harder. We get taxed harder than people with corporate jobs. So therein lay the problem with that. And what do you mean wealth inequality? Why is wealth inequality a problem? I don't know why they think drinking milk is racist. How about we just lower everybody's taxes? How about government quit spending so much? And why do we care about wealth inequality? Like, explain to me, like I'm 5 years old, why people who have done more work and contributed more and have created more wealth, why this is actually a problem. I mean, if you really want to end the biggest problems of poverty, let's get rid of drugs and alcohol. Like earned versus unearned wealth inequality? I don't know, because maybe people who are drug addict pieces of shit and alcoholics who don't ever do anything don't make any money. So, what did you see the problem here? Poverty, true poverty, is not coming from bad luck. Unless we want to say they come from communities that were riddled with drugs and they were exposed to meth and crack at a young age at 12 years old. So, how about we get rid of the drugs? How about we do what we started in Venezuela and we hammer punch all these cartels off the planet? We start executing all of them in public. We round up all the drug dealers, all the drug makers, and we execute them live in public as a deterrent. That if you sell meth or crack or you make it, you're going to be killed on national television. How about we start there? How about every country that refuses to stop their flow of drugs into the US, we invade them? As a response, either you stop your cartels or we invade you and we remove you. I think we've set a great precedent there. How about we do that? Okay, we do that. Then next we hit alcohol. Because if crack, meth, heroin, fentanyl, and alcohol did not exist, would we have any real poverty? In the United States, if these substances did not exist and we just executed everybody who makes them and sells them, just straight up in the public square, would there be any poverty left? How many poor people would exist in the United States? No, we tell Mexico to get out of the way. Tell them either you remove your cartels or we do it. We form an agreement with them. This is how you resolve this. The drugs and alcohol are the cause of almost all poverty. Let me state that again. Hard drugs and alcohol are the cause of almost all poverty. Hey, Steve, I said almost. But if those go away, then there aren't enough poor people left that they're a real nuisance. Does that make sense? So if 95% of poverty is eliminated and there's 5% left are just unfortunate medical issues, other stuff, okay, how cheap as hell is it to give them some benefits or welfare? Like it wouldn't cost anything. It would be so insignificant because all these addicts and alcoholics would all be working. They would all be contributing. The economy would be better. There'd be way more money and flow. And so the tiny number of people who are still left poor, I don't think anybody would care that we gave them some food stamps and housing. Like, I don't think anybody would care at that point because it would be such a ridiculously tiny number that it would be a little drop in the pond. It'd be a couple coins in the wishing well. You know, it would be a point where like, hey, all Americans, you're going to be taxed $17 per year to actually help the truly poor. I mean, it would be like that. Hey, if you're really wealthy, we're going to tax you $100 a year to sort it. I mean, it would be like that, and no one would care. Nobody would care. To be, I don't care about $17. You know what I mean? Well, no, if they just don't want to work and you get rid of the addiction, then they don't get anything. And they don't get anything, then they become criminals. They try to rob us, and we self-defend ourselves, and they go away. Easy peasy solutions. I have them. I should be president. What do you guys think? No, I'm kidding. I'd make a terrible president. Taxes are lower than a lot of places, but they're still too high. We still have national tax. All right. So there's your solutions. So let's go over the training question. So Hellbull says, since I train at home where my home office is located, I sometimes do work in between sets, which may take an hour or more. Does make the workout less effective or not? I don't think that's unreasonable. I've honestly had clients who literally do what you're describing, right? Their workout gets split into, a couple sessions, maybe 3, like maybe they do their squat and deadlift or whatever, and they go do some accessories 2 hours later. I got clients who do that in exactly the same situation you're describing, right? And it works just fine. And it's a matter of, is it practical and pragmatic for your day? I don't think it's a negative, but it's also not going to be a positive as it, oh yeah, because I'm so rested between, I'll get better work. Not necessarily. It's probably not a positive either, but I think it's reasonable. I don't think you'll see any difference in your results. And if it works better with your work day, then by all means, brother, go for it. Why do we only have 4 likes in there, by the way, though? What's up with that? Yes, Lestat. I am also on YouTube. I stream on both platforms concurrently, so there's more questions generally on here. Knife Nut says, you're the only OG YouTube weight training dude left. Most are dead. The ones from the early 2000s, they're all dead. And what am I doing? I'm sitting here looking like this, 49. I just did 20 dips with a 45-pound plate. It's coming along, man. We're just continuing to just train. I'm eating healthy, eating clean living, 0 alcohol, 0 drugs, no junk food. I did have some junk food for Christmas. Live in that healthy life. Jacksonville, I just hopped interview. Dude, I was told I'm racist. That it's a racist and white supremacy for me to drink milk, that it's a dog whistle. Keep in mind, these are the same people who say working out is racist. Math is racist. Jesus. I just can't. And the ironic part, I think it's a jump to lactose intolerance rates, which vary by ethnicity. But I'm drinking lactose-free milk. So the stupidity, I just can't with these people. They are truly mentally ill. These people are truly mentally ill. All right, I'm gonna go refill my milk. Hit that light. Ultra, you're going to need to get deeper into that question. Okay, back. All right. So Ultra. So talking about home defense, Urban said, just subscribe Lestat. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I saw you hop over on Facebook. So over to your home defense pistol. This is my home defense pistol. Okay. For me personally, I prefer 9mm on the street. Like you see that back there. That's my favorite carry piece. I have been to Florida. I have a lot of people in Florida. I got a lot of friends over in Florida. Like I got people out there. But I keep my personal life off the internet. But inside, I like 45 inside. Generally, good home defense. This is usually my door answer gun. Like if someone knocks on my door, this is what I answer it with. This is my bedside piece. I usually go grab it. If someone knocks at my door, rings my doorbell, I'm not expecting company. This is what I answer the door with. This is, so you can see what it is. Can you read? Can we read the label? Or is it too dark? This is a Glock 21 Gen 4. I have a light and a laser on it. I got Trigicons. So I have Trigicon night sights. I have Trigicon XDs on it. So this is what I prefer home defense. Now I'm thinking of going over to 1911s eventually. I'm still going to carry a 9 out on the street and 45 in the house. There are reasons why. Particularly what I really like is the bigger, heavier. No, they do now. But get out of here. No, do not think about that. If you're going to go 1911s, do not skimp. Don't think in terms of value. Don't do it. Not if you're going to trust it to your life. And I am aware that brand is reasonable. But man, I feel like if you're going to really trust your life to a 1911, not a target gun, not a range gun, if it's going to be an actual fighting pistol, I'm going to say your baseline is going to be Colt, Smith & Wesson, Springfield. But I like 45 in the house because it's automatically subsonic with 230 grain. You have hearing damage already, that matters. Plus, I don't care about drop and as much worried about follow-up shots. I just like the big bullet. Out on the street, I like 9mm. Better range out of distance, flatter shooting if I need to engage any further out. Lower recoil, faster follow-up shots. And you always still get, even in a 1911, you're still going to get 1 to 2 more rounds. Thoughts on Dave Ramsey? I don't know that I have thoughts on Dave Ramsey. Shopping around, been looking at Glock, SIG, 365, HK, S&W, Springfield. Yeah, there's a lot to think about there. But if you're talking about for your wife to use also, I'm going to lean you in the direction of 9mm. And remember, carry out on the streets doesn't have the same needs as in the house. Meaning you're not concerned with comfort, you're not concerned with concealability. The big old hunk like this, big blocky handgun, not a big deal. Whereas I notice the difference, that's a compact. So points to consider. I go through a whole bottle right now. I go through a bottle of Newtopia, the whole thing every day, but only during my feed window. Larger gun is easier to handle. Faster follow-up shots, better accuracy, better sight radius, less concealable, less comfortable to wear. But you do need a rifle. So what I'm going to say is you're looking for 2 to 3 guns. I'm going to recommend as a baseline minimum, you have an AR for home defense as your fallback. You're in real trouble. Okay. Keep in mind the world we live in. A lot of police officer friends. Where I live, burglars know they're going to die. Burglars tend to kick in the door wearing soft armor with AR pistols. I'm a fan of the P226. The old SIGs were good. A shotgun for your wife with minimal training, Appreciate the super chat, Jacksonville. I don't know about that. I'm going to say 3 guns. All right, you're looking for 3 guns. You need an AR. You probably need a carry gun and then a home defense pistol. Now, your home defense pistol, you can have a matching of your carry. You and your wife can carry the same thing. But you do need to factor in comfort and concealability. Like, if you're not comfortable strapping it on every single day, there's no point in having it. Like, having a carry gun that you don't actually everyday carry is kind of a waste. And if size and a lack of comfort are a problem for you, it makes you not want to carry it. It's not an appropriate piece. Because if it means, well, I only wear it half the time because it's just a pain, that's not, there's no point in owning it then. Other than, yeah, I think everyone should own them, but it's just not practical. How does PP Talk run? It's changed a little bit. No, they're changing some stuff. They're allowing it. They changed their stuff very recently. They allow us a check mark for it. Even so, videos now that we upload, you have to put it in the monetization thing. When we're uploading videos, they now gave us a box that if it contains firearm content that is within their rules and safety, so people shooting and stuff. No, I don't eat junk food, dude. Sorry. No, I don't eat fast food. As far as the Jack in the Box. Yeah, I'm deaf, taking that into account. My concealed carry piece will be later down the road. But yeah, considering your wife is going to use it too, that's fine. It's a topic I'm passionate about. I mean, I've occasionally done Chick-fil-A, but I haven't had fast food in a couple of years. I haven't had it for a couple of years. Unpopular opinion, internet safety and OPSEC against surveillance are far more useful to the average person. I don't know that it's far more useful to the average person than pew-pews at all. Yeah, I figured you had some insights on the firearm since you used to make ammo. Yeah, I reloaded ammo. I didn't technically make bullets. That was reloading cartridges. But no, every average person needs pew-pews. Full stop. Every American citizen needs to be armed. Yeah, Ultra, I would lean in particularly with the wife, unless your wife is a pretty strong lifter or something, or a serious gun enthusiast. Don't go with a big caliber. Just go with 9mm. No, you don't make them. The bullets require you to melt metal. You got to have a little forge, and that's to make lead. Like the technology to make jacketed rounds, no, dude, that's not at-home level technology. That's industrial. It's used to resize cartridges, so and to fit them. So, okay, you do understand the cartridge is reusable. Okay, this is the bullet. This is the cartridge. This is the thing that shoots through the air. The cartridges are reusable. In a 45, you can reuse this like 10 plus times. And it's the most expensive part. Okay, the cartridge costs more than the cheaper projectiles do that you do target practice with. So the cartridge has to be resized. The primer has to be knocked out. You put a new primer in. After you've cleaned it over cleaning process, you're going to do cleaning, trimming. You resize it. Trim it, put a primer in, new powder goes in, you seat the bullet, and then you crimp it. Right. Right. Well, Kelly Muscle is legitimately an idiot. I mean, we know this. So what you see with reloading is oftentimes about reducing cost, better tuned ammo to your specific guns, but so sometimes better accuracy and so on. I'm not arguing for the need of pupils and arguing the higher statistical likelihood of needing internet safety. Everyone's profiled and tracked. Well, you're talking, but there's no way you're going to stop government from doing that. So if you're talking stalkers and stuff, government technology is catching up. Cyber stalking is eventually going to go away. So all the clowns who are doing that stuff now are eventually going to get screwed for it. Like, I have been told this by people in the FBI directly. Right now, it's too much for them to deal with. They don't have the manpower. It's not a priority to really, unless it's a serious case that they need to jump into. Limited resources. But they've said that once AI catches up and the laws catch up, they're going to just use AI to start tracking down all the cyber stalkers and people who do the stuff you're talking about. They're going to start tracking them down. So people's digital fingerprints, even from today, are all over that stuff already. So it's just a waiting game. But you can't hide all your stuff. Like if you're getting packages shipped to your house, that's literally how you can be found. Well, no, I'm not worried about that. Yeah, I'm not that level of conspiracy. I don't think that there is any value to you at all in trying to stop those agencies from tracking you. And you can't. Let me put it this way. I know a little bit about this because of people I do know. You can't stop them. You do not have the ability to stop them. There is literally nothing you can do to prevent the NSA from knowing and tracking all your stuff. You do not have the capability. You're aware of this, right? Maybe if you've dedicated your entire life to computer programming and this is your entire profession and obsession, if you're not at that skill level, you can't. You do not have the ability. Sorry, but they don't care about you enough to do anything with it. Quite frankly, you're just not that important to them. So why do you want to make it work? So you're trying to cost the taxpayer more money? I don't understand. Yeah. So what are you doing that you're worried about it? Like, are you communicating with terrorists or something? So if you're wanting to make it difficult for them, just to be difficult, you're wanting the taxpayer to spend more money. So if you have a reason that you don't want them to know, really a reason, so my question is, what are you up to? Like, what are you doing? Because keep in mind, they don't do arrests. They're not responsible for arresting people. They don't have arrest powers. But they do track stuff, and their stuff can't be used against you in court. I just live an honest life and stop worrying. Yeah, I agree. I hate the direction the world's going. It's so creepy. The world's going in some crazy places, Diesel Viper. That's why I'm finally shopping for firearms, right? Hey, man, better late than never, homie. Because I guess you've heard about people being wrongly based on info provided for the likes of AI cameras. Yeah, but you can't stop AI cameras. Okay. What does that have to do with these agencies? So if we're talking, AI cameras wrongly charged based upon AI footage, do you think about that? Well, there's nothing you can do about that. You can't stop someone from making fake footage of you with AI. There's fake stuff now of me with AI out there, saying things I didn't even say at this point, as of the last year at least. My friend wants to go golfing. He said I have to wear whatever. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. I feel ridiculous. I don't even know what those are, bro. AI is going to change the world like you wouldn't believe it. Why would you be worried about it, Jacksonville? That seems like a really weird question. Yeah, AI is going to change the world like you wouldn't believe. The issue is that you have to have experts who are like able to look at it and see this is AI footage. So I never upload pictures on social platforms, right? I mean, yeah, if you don't want your images out there, don't upload anything. Grayskull LP, do you know about it? I'm not a fan. I know a little about it. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard that name in at least 8 years, but I know what it is. I think it's too much volume, if I remember correctly. Ultra Peach. Hey, Jason, thanks for all your input. I'll switch gears. Recommendations for lifting programs for someone that took a 5-year break from lifting. Last did Ice Cream Fitness 5x5, 3, 4, 5, 3, 1. You can start with a full body program. If you really like 5 through 1, you can flow back into it again. Right. Hey, Finesse, you sound like a bit of a conspiracy theorist to me. I'm just not interested. Most of the creators of AI are a little bit scared right now, not of how it might progress. Yeah, no, I know that, and we should be concerned. But the problem is, it's already out of the box. Is an induction cooktop worth? Oh, I don't know, Jackson. I don't know. Ever heard of random people with their phones out recording in public? No, I have no idea what we're talking about. Random people with their phones out recording in public. No. Well, you're always being recorded somewhere. Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, you're not going to hide from the government camera. You're just not going to do it. I wish you good luck with this. Keep in mind, are you someone they're even interested in or caring about enough? Like, do they care about you? I'm going to run the Grayskull. What do you think? I'm not going to sign off on that. Jason, seriously, why do you guys still like to run 5-3-1? Just auto regulate your progression. True, that works too. And when you up the weight, drop the reps, it's not that hard. I mean, I've given people a lot of really simple programming methods. Well, and there's nothing you can do about it, Vanessa. So I'm just going to give you the pragmatic answer. Can you do anything about it? And with the level of technology, yeah, sorry, you're not going to do anything about it. You're better spending your time on pew-pews. They're more likely to be useful. You're the one who sounds like you said this would be of more value than pew-pews, and then you're just like, you're talking about things that serve no practical value to you, that are a complete waste of your time, that are only going to make you paranoid and destroy your quality of life. No, I think pew-pews are way, 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 way more valuable time of your time investment to own, to practice on, to learn. Yeah, I think it's a million times more valuable than what you're talking about, says me. I think what you're talking about is just going to make you paranoid. Eventually, you're going to eat a bullet. Or you're going to drop out of life and become one of these crazy ass doomers. And then you're going to be on welfare. If I need to plug a space heater into an extension cord, I don't know. Jackson, are you that guy again? Bro, I thought you came in here as a good guy. Now you're this same clown. Seriously? Really, bro? I'm just going to put you in timeout. It's the same guy again. I've banned him so many times. I'm just going to put him in timeout. I personally like using a 5-3-1 as a generic template. But do we need the generic template? If you understand training, you don't need generic templates anymore. Yes, that same guy again. I already told you, Truck, I don't like the overall volume. It's just not necessary. It's just not necessary. Can't really have discriminate observation without indiscriminate valid point. So let's see. Now I'm going to disagree, Finesse. I think every American citizen should be trained in art. Everybody. Every law-abiding citizen. In fact, because of the gun laws restricting their universities are target-rich environments for mass shooters. You should be carrying, definitely. You should absolutely be carrying. All right. Be way more valuable to you than worrying about the surveillance cameras and Big Brother. Especially in big city where crime rates are way higher than in rural areas, right? Since in the rural areas, everyone already has guns. Pav says, I've been stuck on doing 100 kilograms for multiple sets of 3 reps. Can't seem to break the amount of reps. For bench press, I would love to get to sets of 10 plus as a standard baseline. Just, what do you mean? Just reduce the weight. That's it. Cut the weight down and do sets of 10 plus. There's no, how do I do that? Well, instead of putting 100 kilos on the bar, put 80 kilograms on the bar. Done. That's the whole process. That's the whole entire process. Just reduce the weight till you can get to those reps and then build from there. Doing multiple sets of 3, yeah, you're going to stall doing that. That's not something you can sustain for any period of time and make progress on. It's very difficult. But Finesse, what about your basic duty as a citizen? Are you an adult male in the United States who is a law-abiding citizen and a voter? Then you have a moral obligation to be trained and carry. So what about your duty as a citizen? Also, now you've gone from being an academic to you save patients' lives. Gotcha. Do you think you doctor you have what? He says, pew. I see. So by dropping the weight and increasing reps, that would eventually carry over to me being able to do more reps. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Carrying, I agree, Marcina. Carrying is real social justice. I agree. I agree. All right, guys, I got to get back to my other stuff. I think we are about to wind this down. Me in the doctor's office, if they were to ask me, do you have guns? I'd be like on me right now? Hell yeah. You want to see them? Enjoy your evening, coach. All right, guys, it's about time to wind this down. Give you guys a bicep shot before we go. Oh, Mount Cepheus. Let me wind down Facebook. Wind down the tubes, and we're out.